Drama Poodle, do you have drama for Daddy about James Charles? Oh my goodness, tell me the drama. Oh my goodness, Drama Poodle, I had no idea about that. Thank you for telling Daddy the drama. Bitch, Drama Poodle was just telling me all the drama surrounding James Charles, Jeffree's star, and his sister's apparel line that's distributed through Jeffree's company Killer Merch. We have all that tea for you today, and bitch, it is piping hot. But first off, if you're new here and you're wondering who is this kid and his poodle, my name is Steven Mango. This is Drama Poodle. We are a drama channel that talks about beauty drama and the beauty community. So if you want to stay up to date on all our videos, please make sure to go down below, click on that subscribe button, as well as go right next to it and hit that bell icon so you stay notified whenever we release a new video. And hey, if you unsubscribe from James Charles, you may have extra room in your subscription box for a new YouTuber that you want to support. And if you like tea spill videos, please make sure you are subscribed. So without further ado, let's get right on into today's drama. Hi again, guys, and thank you for joining me today. I know a lot of you guys have been wondering, where is Mango Tea in the midst of all this James Charles drama? I am here and I'm going to be catching you guys up to speed on the latest breaking news on what is actually happening with James Charles. More specifically today, like I already said, we're going to be covering what is actually going on. Did Jeffree Star actually drop Sisters Apparel from his company Killer Merch, which was the distributor of James's merchandise? Now, I had a mental health break over the weekend, so I know I missed a lot of different videos on James. If you want me to give you guys a full recap, I can, but right now I'm just going to pick it up where we are left off with whatever is happening right now in the world of James Charles in this dramageddon that we are experiencing. So to fill you guys in if you didn't know, James had a pop-up store for his brand Sisters Apparel down under in Australia over the weekend. Now, this is something that was contracted months ago, and this is all relevant to what we're going to be discussing since it involves Killer Merch and Jeffree Star, so keep up with me even if you heard this story. So he announced this a few weeks ago on his channel that he's going to be going down to Australia. Killer Merch also announced this appearance on their Twitter page saying, "Attention Australian sisters, the first ever Sisters by James Charles pop-up shop opens tomorrow at the Pacific Fair Mall on the Gold Coast in Australia." So when James was in Australia, this is when Tati actually released her video, which spread like wildfire. She's had probably 30 to 40 million views on these videos, and Tati has made, if you look on her Social Blade, she's made something in the amount of like $100,000 to $120,000, if not more, money off of this scandal. Now, James also made just as much money, sad to say, that he's being rewarded for all of this, but people have gone on his channel to try to see his apology and everything, so it may be a spike, but of course, just like Laura Lee and Manny MUA and a lot of these other influencers who were canceled last year, the income is going to steadily and progressively decline, and he better keep these coins while he has them because they may not last forever. So he was already contractually obligated to make this appearance at the Sisters Apparel merch store in Australia. Now, a lot of drama went down because James actually showed up 2 hours late to this appearance. A news story reported on James's tardiness in an article titled, "Fans slam YouTuber James Charles for arriving hours late to Australian meet and greet amid Tati Westbrook feud." Now, I can only imagine this is because James is so obsessed with his numbers. Even before the scandal, I see James as the type of person where he's just constantly refreshing his Social Blade, trying to see his subscribers go up. Late at night at 3 in the morning, he's just popping popcorn, sipping a pinkety drinkety, and watching his numbers go up. Now that he's plummeting, I'm sure he's the type, even if he lost like 125 subscribers, he's the type I appear to be calling for like an emergency meeting to try to figure out what happened, to call his therapist or something like that. But to be one of the most unsubscribed YouTubers in history, I think James is losing his mind, and I'm really worried that something bad may happen with him just because of how important his subscribers and his numbers and social media presence is to him. He brought this all upon himself, not that, if something did bad happen, I'm hoping that is not the case, but he makes social media the main priority of his life. But to leave his fans disappointed, standing out in the sun waiting for him, a lot of fans were really upset. So this is what some of them had to say on social media. His trip to Australia was a failure. Only a few hundred people showed up to his meet and greet, which he was 2 hours late for. Mom is keeping their children away from him. Katy Perry can do a whole concert after her husband breaks up with her with a text, but James Charles shows up 2 hours late to his meet and greet in Australia because of, quote, personal issues. LOL. So apparently James Charles was 2 hours late to his tour date in Australia. I don't care what is happening in your life, kid, which you brought all of that on yourself, BTW. After making people pay that kind of money to see you, you should at least have the blanking decency to be on time. Now, I saw this online as well about the appearance, and they said when he finally arrived, they wrote, "He is not himself. This is cringe," before less than 10 minutes later adding, "and that was that. These poor people." He spoke for about 7 minutes doing a Q&A. Apparently, James said he had some personal things to sort out that morning as he thanked fans for waiting. Could it be something to have to do with Sisters Apparel and Jeffree Star, since this is kind of almost like an appearance that Jeffree Star possibly set up? But I think, which we'll get to, but for James to even show up after all this, I'm surprised, rather to say, he wasn't booed and heckled off stage, because he has fans all over the world. And I can't believe that he actually showed face during this scandal. It only got worse. He made his apology video in Australia. He should have took probably a few days to let his thoughts and everything compose and put together, because an apology video in the YouTube world can make or break you. There's people who's made videos like before when Gabriel Zamora did his video and he saved his face.
If we're keeping it 100, let's keep it 100.
There's people like Laura Lee who have completely, ended their career based on their apology. So sit down. You don't have to have a public relations response, but you need to sit down and actually be authentic with your audience and not just go and apologize to your mother or talk about your mother or something like that. Like, it was a very weird apology. I can get into that as well. Maybe I'll apologize as James Charles if you guys are interested in seeing that, but he completely didn't do it the right way. So he has continued to lose millions of subscribers up until this point. I believe for Tati, as well as with Jeffree Star and a lot of these other influencers, this is a long time coming, guys. I know it seems like Tati may have came on camera and spilled the tea on her friendship, and it might have been something impulsive, but this went back to her birthday party in February. I did a video about that yesterday, like I mentioned, so check that out, about the waiter who spoke forward, and I have all that receipts and tea for you there. But that was several months ago, and there's been just countless instances of other people who have had bad experiences with James, and his ego got so big that he started turning into a monster. So for Jeffree Star, he posted this tweet, which I'm going to show you guys, and then we're going to discuss. There is a reason that Nathan banned James Charles from ever coming over to our home again. There's a reason why I haven't seen him since Glam Life Guru's birthday in February. He is a danger to society. Everything Tati said is 100% true. For Jeffree and Nathan to not want James in their home really says something. I wish a lot of these YouTubers and other people spoke out right away instead of waiting for one person to speak out and then all coming forward. It's like me leaving Scientology. I could have waited for Leah Remini to do her TV show and then spoke out when it was more like the socially acceptable thing to do, but it really shows your character. I feel like if you do it when there's repercussions to face, or you're going up against a powerful conglomerate, it's actually really respectable to speak out at that rate. Regardless, it's great that people feel comfortable to come forward. Some people are shy, or they don't feel like their story is going to be taken seriously, and they wait for the group of other people to come out and speak out. So that's fine if that's the mentality of people. I wish Jeffree spoke out, but he, as I was thinking about it, has stake in James Charles in the sense of their collaborators on Sisters Apparel. Now, like I said, you guys may not really know much about Sisters Apparel. I know a lot of you guys keep up with all the tea the second it comes out. For those of you who don't know, Killer Merch is Jeffree's merchandise company. They design, they do fulfillment, they do printing, they do everything for different YouTubers as well as celebrities. Jeffree actually went into more detail about Killer Merch in Shane's documentary series that he did on Jeffree, where Jeffree actually explained more in detail what Killer Merch actually is and what they do.
So wait, so you do other people's shit? A lot, yeah. So that's something I don't ever talk about or promote. This is obviously a fulfillment center and a merch company. So me and a few friends started Killer Merch, and we ship a lot of people. A lot of people you probably will recognize. It's a whole separate business from the cosmetics. I just merge it together, and it's like a whole, you know. This is crazy.
As of today, James is still listed on the Killer Merch of the list of different companies. So given that they actually have this collaborative relationship, I think it was probably hard for Jeffree just to like completely axe James, because it's bringing in millions of dollars, I'm assuming, for both of them. So Jeffree's just not going to be like, hey, like, let me get rid of some easy bread and butter, when it's probably something that isn't to a boiling tipping point where Jeffree really felt like he had to speak out right away. Like, we have to end James right off the bat. So on the Killer Merch website, James is still listed amongst the other celebrities and people that work with Killer Merch. But when you go on the Sisters Apparel website, a lot of other people have reported this, but they haven't reported the update on it. This is what actually shows when you go on the Sisters Apparel website. It says, Sisters Apparel will be opening soon. Site currently under construction. Sign up below for launch updates. So a lot of people actually looked at this and saw it as, wow, Jeffree must have dumped James from Killer Merch. Obviously, Jeffree isn't someone who needs to take a paycheck and be quiet. A lot of us, if we have a day job and we have like a really bad boss or something like that, we have to kind of bite our tongue because they're feeding our family and we're paying our bills. But Jeffree, who has hundreds of millions of dollars, if for him it's more important, I think, to like make a point and say like, hey, like, I'm not going to work with someone who's like this, someone who's taking advantage of people. He's clearly friends with Tati Westbrook. He's even made posts congratulating Tati on her getting 6 million subscribers before she really popped off and got almost to 9 million subscribers. Huge congratulations to the makeup queen at Glam Life Guru on hitting 6 million subscribers on YouTube today. You are one of a kind. I think that Jeffree said, I can keep working with James and having to have business meetings or whatever about the merch, or we can just end the relationship. Yes, I'll lose out on income, but he's already canceled anyways. I don't want to be associated to James Charles. And maybe if I remove myself from my partnership with James, then maybe he's going to sizzle off and, you know, it'll be harder for him to continue to be a YouTuber. Look at Laura Lee, look at Manny MUA. They've never fully recovered. Laura Lee lost, what, 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers? Maybe she didn't lose millions of subscribers. So that's why this situation is almost bigger than Dramageddon that happened last year. What a lot of people haven't seen, though, is now when you go to Sisters Apparel website, it links you over from the coming soon. Maybe James and his team saw that and were like, hey, is there drama going on with Jeffree, or we don't really know, or we're going to have to like probably redesign because maybe Jeffree owns some of the copyrights of the logos, perhaps, or some of the different designs are now owned by Killer Merch. Because if Killer Merch, well, let me say this. Let me get to what it does. It's now linking over to his YouTube channel. Like I was just trying to say a moment ago, I think that maybe Jeffree Star and Killer Merch owns maybe Sisters Apparel. Maybe they have trademarks. Maybe they're going to have to work with James to say, like, what's your price, James Charles, to buy out the designs or buy out the company. Maybe Jeffree has some sort of ownership. Maybe James has to pay out Jeffree or vice versa. I think that it's just more so that if there's designs of the merchandise, James is going to have to either redesign or rename the company, or something's going to happen. It's just interesting that he's linking it over to his YouTube channel and maybe having like some sort of temporary storefront or something. But I think that it happened today instead of this weekend because when they were in Australia, it was for the pop-up store. So they probably had to take online orders. And I think, of course, Jeffree was going to cash in on that. And then after it came to a place where they could kind of like cut ties, I think that's why today they put up like the coming soon thing. So if James wants to take over Sisters Apparel, come up with a new fashion designer or whoever to fulfill and design and do everything. I mean, it was very high quality from what I could tell from the internet. It wasn't just like a t-shirt that is just from one of these YouTube green printing things. Not that any of them are really bad. I use one, I have merchandise and stuff, and it's really great quality, but this was more so like a fashion line. This wasn't just supposed to be just like a t-shirt with James's face. It was supposed to be like stylish with like different sort of tops and hoodies and different things, and it actually did seem like really cool merchandise. So I don't know if James is going to actually redo Sisters apparel, if he's going to find a new manufacturer or do something, because I'm sure it was very profitable for him. But for him now to have a dying YouTube channel, who knows if he's even going to post again for a while. If he just made, say, $100,000 or $200,000 in the last couple days, I can see him taking a break for 2-3 months. It's not a smart idea to post right away, and no one's going to be able to take it seriously if he just goes and ignores everything and continues on like nothing ever happened. People are going to be like, what the hell, James? Like, you have to be able to be honest with your subscribers or do something to make a difference. Don't go do charity work like Laura Lee and film it, because that comes off as very inauthentic. You have to be able to face the music and either continue with your channel or maybe do something behind the scenes and work with other YouTubers or do makeup on set for people. I'm sure someone will hire him nowadays, but I don't think he's going to have the sponsors and the different people to back him after all this controversy. Now, it wasn't as bad as Laura Lee because that was based off of racism and other stuff. So I know a lot of people are talking about like Morphe and stuff like that. I don't think Morphe's going to drop him and the code and everything right away, because it's not like it was a scandal where James was doing something to, you know, affect a certain community in a very negative way. And maybe they will cancel his palette. I'm not sure, but I just think speculating on it, I don't think it's the same situation as Laura Lee or Manny where they're going to completely shut that down. But for Jeffree to put his foot down, it's like, good for Jeffree. I know a lot of people were coming for Jeffree as well, or not Jeffree, coming at Tati because, you know, she was friends with, or is friends with Jeffree, and she kind of covered up some other situations for James, just like how she was kind of defending Jeffree after certain racism stuff by kind of saying like, okay, like we have to like move on, and some people were upset about it. I think that everyone deserves a second chance, and if you apologize. The whole thing that I'm thinking with this whole canceled thing that's going on was, I wish people were taking it in a like a learning lesson to be like, hey, like, you know what, just because you are so famous doesn't mean you could treat people this way, or like educating James or putting him in therapy. That doesn't mean he shouldn't be still canceled, but I think that it would be nice if when these situations, more so with racism, for example, it comes as an opportunity to start a healthy conversation, because I think that everyone has made mistakes in their past, and maybe they're just not in the public eye, but nowadays, if you're a YouTuber or whatever, you can be completely ruined for the rest of your life, and it's all on the internet playing out, and it's affecting people's bottom line and their reputation and everything. So I know that this wasn't a racism scandal necessarily, but I just think that, you know, it would be nice if the conversation was turning more positive than actually bullying and attacking someone. Because you don't see me coming on camera attacking. I'm just reporting the facts for you guys, unlike some other channels that are really taking really hard digs. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this whole entire situation. But first off, I wanted to give a shout out to one of my subscribers who actually became one of my friends. Her name is Paige. She actually did this really cool makeup mango tea eye look. I want to show that for you guys right now. She's actually one of the sweetest. Her Instagram handle, I'm going to also link it down below, is at Paige Violet B, B-E-E. And if you guys can check her out, tell her that I sent you guys over to her Instagram. I know she wants to start a YouTube eventually. She's been writing to me. She's always so sweet, and she promotes my stories and stuff like that. And we've been talking just like privately behind the scenes. I have a lot of friendships with my subscribers, which is cool. I know a lot of other channels, especially drama channels, don't talk to other people that are subscribers, and maybe some do behind the scenes, but I know that I really value you guys so much that I want to feel like we have a connection here in a community where some of these channels, they get so big and, you know, they spill the tea maybe for like 200,000 people maybe, or 400,000 or whatever, but they don't really have that one-on-one connection with their viewers. And you guys are my friends. I don't have friends in real life, and that's a whole nother story, but you guys are my true friends, and I'm really glad that we get to hang out, have a little gay kiki, and chat with each other, and I'm really curious to hear what you guys think on that note. Go down below and leave a comment down below about this whole situation. Do you think Jeffree is no longer going to be working with James with Killer Merch anymore? Do you think that was the right business move for Jeffree? Should he maybe have held on just to take the 10 or 15 or 20, 30% commission, however much on the sales? I mean, I think James is now officially canceled. Do you guys? Like, what is your thoughts on all of that? I think it's RIP for James Charles's career. I don't think that there's any hope or recovery for him to come back unless he's gone for a year and he comes back as a completely different person. But actions speak louder than words. He's going to have to take a long break and then change his ways, and we'll see what actually happens. But anyways, guys, please make sure to go down below, check out yesterday's video. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. After unsubscribe from James, you need someone new to watch, so check out Mango Tea. I'm going to be posting more daily videos, especially about James Charles, so turn on your bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I am going to be doing more research. I'll try to put out as many videos as I can in the next couple days without losing my mind, and I'm already kind of getting over it. A lot of people have been asking me to do videos about the Nicolette Gray drama, and I have a couple people who want to speak out and a couple who are nervous to speak out, so I might be covering more about the Nicolette Gray drama. So if you were here for that, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's also on my channel. I expose Nicolette Gray, who's a social media influencer and a big YouTuber. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I'm gonna stop rambling. I hope you guys have a great night. Also, find me on social media at stevenmango if you want to ask me any questions, talk to me, hang out. You can also find me on social media. Jeff likes to post Instagram stories with me and stuff like that too, so if you guys miss seeing us as a couple, we're on Instagram a lot of the times together too, so that's a good place to follow us. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye, guys.